spring to everyone. If it is your springtime, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited. I have all of my favorite plant-based vegan finds from Costco. Last week when I shared it on my stories, I asked if you guys wanted me to share with you what I usually pick up there, and 100% you all said yes. So I brought a bunch of stuff here with me today. It's not everything because I wouldn't be able to fit it here, but I brought along my pretty much everyday goodies that I pick up there. And also I'll share some quick recipes and benefits and tips and anything like that. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me them anytime. I'm happy to answer them for you if I can. I brought some of the packages because some of the frozen items I was a little concerned that maybe they wouldn't be able to last so long, and plus I did finish this bag so quickly. I guess I'll just start with this because I recently found, I love this brand, Pizza Foods, and I recently found this at Costco in their frozen section. I have shared before that I usually buy a lot of my frozen fruits there, especially during the winter months here in New Jersey. I like to add frozen organic fruits to my smoothies and things like that, and I love to pick them up there because you get such a big bag. And the other thing that I really love so much is that usually the fruits that they sell there, they are organic, and also they don't add anything else into the packet. Sometimes I find that when you read the ingredients, they'll add in like citric acid and other stuff, and I really rather not have those things. So when I was there a few weeks ago, I found this there in the frozen section, which I love. Dragon fruit and mango and passion fruit. It's all mixed together in one, and they're all in little baggies inside of this big one. So it's a perfect amount to add just to a smoothie if you're making it for the day, or a smoothie bowl, or some nice cream, and it's a nice blend. And I love that it comes nice and bright and pink. It reminds me of the summertime, which I love, and I'm excited that we are on our way. But the ingredients are just organic dragon fruit, organic mango, and organic passion fruit. And that is a combination, and all of those are packed with so many antioxidants, vitamin C, and they're so good for your immunity system and all that kind of good stuff. So I really am so excited that, let's see what their mission is. Our superfood mission. Our goal is to help improve your health and your health communities and our planet. We only use the best quality, sustainable, grown superfoods packed at the peak of ripeness. You get the most antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals possible. Better quality, better health, Pizza Foods, Chuck and Ben. And that's what I was going to share, is that when the fruits, frozen fruits, usually they're picked, and when they're picked, they are frozen right away. So that usually means that the vitamins and the nutrients and all that stuff are preserved inside there, and they're really so much filled with all of the good stuff and the ripeness to it, along with all the vitamins in there. Because sometimes some of these other products, like for example, I did pick up raspberries and blueberries there, but the thing with that is that foods that are not really grown locally close to you, they have to go through transportation. So when they're picked, sometimes they're picked when they're not fully ripe or maybe overripe, and then they're traveling across the country and places and things like that. So having like frozen fruit, it is picked and it's frozen when it's ripe, and it's all frozen in there. And it sometimes, especially during certain months, for me, I prefer to pick up things like that and add them into my smoothies and my nice cream. And here in New Jersey, we luckily do grow local blueberries, organic blueberries, which I get so excited about. But in the meantime, I do, when I go to Costco, I will pick up these blueberries there, and they've been actually tasting so good, and the raspberries. But like I said, there's so much like traveling involved in the process with these things. So that is one issue, but they do have this frozen fruit there. So I usually buy this, and then I also will buy their mangoes, and same thing, this is just organic. Where are the ingredients? Organic mango is in here. This whole huge bag of mangoes, and there's big chunks in there. It's just so awesome. I love it. And then I usually will get blueberries and strawberries. They do have like another mixed pack of frozen goodies there, but just be sure to always read the ingredients, not only with the fruits, but anything that you buy, because you never realize that you think you're buying something. I know for myself, when I started becoming more aware and I started eating plant-based whole foods and I started reading all the ingredients of the stuff that I was going to buy, I would be surprised by how much added sugars are in things and all kinds of stuff. So that's why I'm a big believer in whole food plant-based eating and products and things like that. So those are the fruits. If you guys are just joining me, I am sharing my favorite plant-based vegan items I pick up at Costco. I know everyone wanted me to share. So those are the frozen fruits that I will pick up there. And what else do I get there at Costco? So the other thing I pick up there are hemp hearts. And these things are loaded with plant-based protein. I know all the time I always get asked, where do you get your protein from? And there are so many things that you get plant-based protein from in eating whole foods. Not only the protein, but they're packed with vitamins and nutrients and all of the stuff that your body needs. And I actually eat so much better eating whole food plant-based foods, where I have so much more of a diverse diet of vitamins and minerals and all those things. But hemp seeds, these things are awesome because they have, I think, for 2 tablespoons, there's about 10 grams of plant-based protein. You can easily add these to your smoothie, to a salad, your soups, so much stuff. They have such this nutty flavor to them, but it's just really so good. And I love that you pick up this big bag there. Hello everyone, thank you for joining. And the hemp hearts you can pick up there, and I like that this big bag, I believe, you know, I will share it later on my stories. I don't have the receipt with me, but it is such a good price for this 32-ounce bag of hemp hearts. It lasts a long time. Usually after I open them and use it, I will store these in my refrigerator. So if you haven't picked those up there yet, definitely do that. And then also I got there is chia seeds, which is another plant-based protein. This is also loaded with calcium, omega-3s, fiber, iron, all the good stuff. I use chia seeds pretty much every day in my smoothies. Also, you can make chia pudding. I use it as a egg substitute when I'm making anything baked. So I just recently shared too the replacement values of using chia seeds. I think it's every teaspoon of chia seeds to 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. But check out my little infographic I made. I know I reference to them all the time, but you can easily use that for baking as an egg replacement and so much stuff. I also will just throw it into any kind of baked things that I am making, because it just adds in the extra protein and the omega-3s and all that kind of stuff. So this huge bag there too is, you can pick this up and it lasts a really long time. I usually do sometimes take it and then store it into airtight glass jars and leave them in. I do store this one in my cabinet. I don't usually put them in the refrigerator, and it lasts a really long time. And same thing, I will have to leave the pricing because I think that this huge bag is not that much. And it's one thing I love about Costco, when you get to pick up these things like this for such a great price, as opposed to, especially if you use it every day like I do. So I would definitely pick up chia seeds there. And then the next thing are these oats, these sprouted rolled oats, and they are organic. And it's very important to buy organic oats when you're shopping for oats. And this huge bag is just filled with so much. And you could do so much with oats. They can make anything, make a lot of baked things. You can have baked, I share this really good blueberry baked crisp, which is a favorite of mine, and it tastes good warm and also cold. But you can also make oatmeal and all kinds of stuff, and this bag will last a really long time. I really love this brand as well. I know it's been around for a long time, but I recently came across it when I was at a trade show. They were there and I was speaking to, it's like a family farm, and I was speaking to them, and it was just so fun and interesting to, I personally love to know who are growing the things that I am eating. I can't wait to one day have my own farm where I can have my own greens and things that I grow. But in the meantime, I do live by a lot of farms, organic farms, and it's so cool to just go over there and talk with them. So I was at this trade show and I got to meet the people that own this company, and they were sharing all this stuff with me about this. And when I was in Costco recently, I came across this big bag. So I definitely would say to pick this up, especially if you have a big family and kids. You could make so many things. I have a lot of good recipes, cookie recipes. I think just the other day I shared one when I did my burrito nuts live. I think I made my little cookies that have 4 ingredients and it has oats in it. So there's so many things you can make with it, and I definitely share a bunch of recipes. Or if you want any, just DM me and I'll send them to you. But definitely pick this up next time that you are there. And it's it clearly tells you all about the company on the back, and that the ingredients are grown with plant-based cultivation methods. So the way that they farm is also organic, and it's just so essential for our Mother Earth. So I thought that this was really cool, a great find that I recently found there. I know I could be behind. I'm sure probably a lot of people know about this one. But the other thing too I find is that I also sometimes go to a different Costco, and they will have different things there. Not every Costco has the same items, so sometimes I love to just learn from other people what they pick up at theirs. So when I go to a different one, I'll kind of look for it. So any tips too, if you want to share them below, even if you're watching this later on, that would be cool, because I always am looking for new fun things to pick up there. Next, I will move on to, the Brazil nuts. So this is another thing I pick up there. It's a great big bag, such a great price. They're also organic. Brazil nuts are so good for you. They are packed with antioxidants, and they're so good for your immune system and all kinds of stuff. I usually add 1 or 2 to my smoothies in the morning. And although if I'm gonna add burrito nuts, I usually don't add in Brazil nuts. They definitely are different. They're not the same nuts, even though I used to think that they were. But definitely check out my other live that I was talking about the burrito nuts. But yes, I'll pick up these Brazil nuts there. And I know that I had a question about the Brazil nuts. Yeah, they're really good for your, for inflammation, and they are high in antioxidants, which is so good for your immune system and reducing inflammation, all that kind of stuff. So definitely pick those up too next time you are there. I know they have a big nut selection. I usually get a lot of my nuts from Trader Joe's, so I don't usually buy too many of them there, but I do always pick up these over there at Costco. Any other recommendations, let me know. And then also, I love dates. These are so good, and you could get this huge box there at Costco. Dates are such a great sugar alternative. They're low glycemic. They're also loaded with antioxidants. They're so good for you. They are good for, also to help bring on labor. I've heard that before. And I wrote down something else that was, about the labor that I thought was interesting. And then, they're also good for your gut, your microbiome, and all that kind of stuff. So those are so good to eat. But definitely don't eat too many of them at once, because they are sugar, but they are definitely a natural sugar, so they're much better for you than refined sugars. So I would add maybe 1 or 2 to my smoothies, or if you're looking for a sugar alternative, this is a great replacement. And you can also make date paste, which is used in a lot of recipes as well, which make things taste so good. I will definitely share it soon, how to make date paste, because I do make it sometimes and use it in recipes. But these dates are so good, and usually when you pick them up there, they're so fresh. That's the other thing I love about Costco, is that their products just seem to be so fresh. I open these, sometimes I will buy these if I don't go to Costco at Whole Foods or something, and either sometimes they're nice, new and juicy and everything, but other times some of them will be, some will be dried out. But every time I get them there, they're always just great. And I also love that with Costco. Excuse me 1 minute. Oops, sorry about that. I blacked out for a second. With Costco, if you're not happy with items, you could bring them back, and they gladly take them back or replace them. So I definitely would pick up these next time you are there as well. I also share a recipe where there'll be the dates, and I will melt some vegan chocolate and put some almond in the middle of them, put them in the freezer, and in like 15 minutes, you have such a great snack for like a movie night or something like that. So definitely check out the recipes I do share with dates as well. Hello everyone, thank you for joining in. Let's see what else I have. So those are the dates. And then what other, I did share, so the raspberries and blueberries, and the other things that I do pick up fruit-wise there at Costco are the mangoes. They usually have mangoes in there, and I also do pineapples and papaya there. I didn't bring them with me today, I forgot, but I definitely picked those up there. And also bananas, I always get tons of bananas there. And I actually just recently learned a trick about bananas and helping them to go so brown so quickly. I found this tip somewhere on TikTok, but what you do is you wash off all of the bananas with some water, you run it under water, then you can wipe it down with some paper towel, and then you take a wet paper towel or wet cloth and you wrap it and you leave it around the stem up here, and it really helps to keep the bananas from going brown so quickly. But I do like to get brown bananas because I like brown bananas in my smoothies. Or I'll freeze them because it gives them really a nice sweet taste, or if I'm going to make some ice cream, I do like to have very brown bananas, and definitely for baking too. But so I'll pick up a ton of bananas at Costco as well. They always have organic bananas there. They have a lot of fruits and stuff. I don't really buy too many of them because not a lot of them are organic, and I usually try to stick to buying as many organic items as I can, especially ones that are on the Dirty Dozen. I know that the new list of the Dirty Dozen just came out, and that actually is the list where the list about 12 produce items that have a lot of pesticides and things on them, so that's why they're called the Dirty Dozen. So you want to kind of maybe try to buy those ones organic if you can. It's just better for your health and your wellness. And then there's a clean 15, so there are a bunch of produce and things that are okay that you don't have to buy organic. Like usually, I'm not sure, I didn't check out the list recently, I don't have it in front of me, but usually avocados are not on there, so you could buy regular avocados, you don't have to get organic ones. But I just think like the biggest thing is if you can just eat as local foods as possible, ones that are grown in your area, whether, you know, even if they're not organic, maybe the farmers, if you get to know them going to the farmer's market, maybe they still practice organic farming, but they just don't have the USDA organic stamp, because there's a process to it, and it does cost money to have that done. And some of these small farmers, maybe they're just not a place to do that. So it's always just great to get to know your farmers, especially now that here the spring is coming, the farmers markets are going to start. So just get to know your farmer, and you could pick up things like I buy so many blueberries from this local farm by me. I have ones that are, you know, it's an organic one, and then the other one is not. And let's see, I just saw a question real quick. Hello. So if not, but they are grown local and they're New Jersey blueberries, even though there may not be organic. I do talk to the farmers, and I know kind of the process that they use, so I still will buy the blueberries from them. But it's definitely a cool thing to do. I'll share it on my stories later, the list, the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So those are usually what I do buy. And then the mangoes I'll buy over in Costco. I definitely always get a huge bag of lemons because I use them so much. I use lemons, and I wake up every morning and have a big, large glass of water with lemon. I put lemon in my juices and smoothies and all on top of my salads and stuff, and get this huge bag, and they're all such nice sized lemons in here. So I love picking those up at Costco, and I love to just leave them out on my countertop in like a wooden bowl. It just is so fresh. It just makes me feel happy, and I love that. And I love too, when you go to Costco, there's just like this huge amount of things that you do buy. Like I bought all these sweet potatoes there. They had a huge bag of sweet potatoes, and I really like the size of them because they were not too big or too small, because sometimes in the afternoon I just like to make maybe a sweet potato on the side of my salad, and they are just so many, and we can put them out, and I love to just be surrounded. That's one thing that I definitely share with my clients and things, is that, you know, when you want to kind of focus on new healthy habits, it's like if you surround yourself with healthy foods and have them around you, you're going to be more apt to grab those as opposed to something else. And over time, your taste buds will definitely change, and you'll want to start eating more whole food, plant-based foods, because you'll just feel amazing, and you'll have fun just creating new meals and things like that. But back to the sweet potatoes. These things are so good. You can make so many things with them. I always share my sweet potato black bean bake recipe, which consists of, it's like a 1-pan recipe, sweet potatoes with quinoa, black beans. You can put tomato sauce in it if you like or not, with a little chili pepper. What else is in there? Oh, some vegetable broth, or if you don't want to use that, you can just use water. You bake it in the oven for like 30 minutes. It is so good, and sweet potatoes are packed with so many nutrients too, and vitamin A, so it's so good for your skin, clear glowing skin. And you can also add sweet potatoes to a smoothie. It helps make it thick, and you really don't taste it, but you're getting all the nutrient values with it as well. Maybe this week I'll share my recipe. I haven't shared it in a long time, but I have a sweet potato smoothie recipe that I make a lot, and it's really, really so good. So I will do that. But sweet potatoes, there's the whole bag of them. Pick them up there. Avocados, I always get my avocados there as well. Even if when you buy them, they're not ripe yet. One other quick tip, if you put your avocados on top of a banana, I'm telling you, I don't know why, but it will have them, like you'll wake up in the morning and it will be more ripe. Not 100%, especially if they're not fully ripe, but they will definitely start to get ripe. So that's another tip that I somehow learned along the way, and it does work. But I will pick up my avocados there, usually like a bag of them. For 6 of them is like $5.50 or something, so that's great. And there's also always in there like a good size, decent size avocado, so definitely pick them up there. What else do I get there? They do have organic celery. I don't love that it's in a plastic bag, but I do pick them up there because I do usually add celery to my juices in the morning, or smoothies, or on my lunch and things like that. So if I am there, I will pick it up. But if not, I usually do buy a lot of bunches of celery from Whole Foods or a local store that I buy my stuff from, because I'm not a big fan of plastic, but I do love that they now have organic celery at Costco. And then also carrots. There's this huge bag organic carrots that I always pick up there too, because I use them in my juices and roasting them, all kinds of stuff. So I definitely pick those up as well. And my bananas. Oh, and then they also always have a big thing of mushrooms, and mushrooms are just so good for you. If you can just eat mushrooms every day, it just is so good for your gut, for everything. They're just packed with so much goodness, and they always have these there. They also have white, just regular mushrooms there as well that I'll pick up sometimes. What else do they? Oh, and this time I found they had this whole bag of organic squash, and that I thought was really great because you can make a zucchini noodles, where you just kind of, you could either use one of those trimmers or the spiral machine, and they're just so good. It's so refreshing. You could make a salad with them. You could also make them and make them warm and add tomato sauce to them. So it's like a much better way of having like a pasta night, but having it with vegetables. Zucchini, I love to roast it. I make so many things with it. So they have this nice huge bag of organic squash in here, and I don't usually see this there, so that was a new find that I did find. And I also like that they do have organic cucumbers. I know cucumbers are usually always on the dirty dozen list, so having organic ones is very important for me to get. So I do like that they do sell these there, and you get like 3 of them. Once again, it's all in the plastic. Don't love that, but I do pick them up when I do go to Costco over there. And what else? Oh, and then I love this black pepper that they have, and I use it all the time. It has such a good flavor to it. For years I've been using it, and I have, a cracker machine one of those things that you put this inside and it breaks up the peppercorns and it just tastes so good. So I'm not sure if you tried that, but that's one of my favorites. I always pick up there. You pick this up and it lasts like forever, so long. And the other thing that I do like to pick up from there is their coconut water. This is their brand, and it just has the coconut in it. Sometimes I notice that these little coconut waters will have other sugars and things in it that I don't think you really need. So for me, I like this, just coconut water. I will pick this up and add some of it to like my smoothies in the morning, or sometimes just as like a refreshing drink. It's fun to mix this with some watermelon, or if I do make a watermelon juice and cucumber, I'll maybe just add a little bit of this in at the end, and it's just like a fun, refreshing drink. So you could try that out. And what else did I miss? Oh, and I love their extra virgin olive oil that they have there. This is really good. I always pick that up. They also have avocado oil there. It's probably in the same section, and that's a great thing to have to cook with, because if you are cooking, you can cook with avocado oil at very high heat, like 550 or something like that. So it's a great thing to have in your cabinet, but it also tastes really good on salads and things like that. And then the last thing is my coconut oil. I love to pick this up there. This big, huge, organic virgin coconut oil. I use coconut oil as like a skin moisturizer. I also use it at times to I'll put it in my hair to just do a treatment on my hair. I use also coconut oil when I'm making a lot of my baked treats and things like that. It also just tastes good on toast. But I don't use it every day, and you buy this thing, it lasts forever, but I do use it as a moisturizer and so many things. So I love that you could pick this up there as well. And I think that is everything that I have. I will definitely leave on my stories later about how much that these certain little things, like the bag of chia seeds and things like that. But if you guys also have any ideas or some good plant-based vegan things that you usually pick up there, I know that they have like a ton of frozen vegan things there and stuff like that. For me, I usually like to just focus on whole food plant-based foods. I don't really eat a lot of processed foods. I mean, I do every once in a while, but I try to stay away from that. I just feel so much better just eating whole foods, and that's what I love to share. And I actually have said this many times before. I used to be the worst cook. I didn't know how to make anything. I would eat out all the time and I ate a bunch of processed stuff. But little by little, when I started removing that processed foods from my everyday eating habits, I started to just feel so much more amazing, so much more energy. I would sleep better, and I just taught myself how to cook and how to make things, and I just love it. I love to just nourish my body with whole food plant-based foods. It's just really so essential, and it's packed with so much goodness. You get like protein, fiber, antioxidants, all the good stuff with whole foods. And I just wanted to share with you guys today what I usually pick up at Costco. If there's any other stores, I know a few weeks ago I did Trader Joe's, Costco. If there's any other place that you guys want me to go and pick up stuff with and share it on one of my lives, definitely either leave it below or DM that to me, and I'm happy to give it a try. But thanks so much for everyone who joined me today. I'm so grateful, and I send